How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Good, good. I wonder how many people are going to show up. This is Jeff, my husband.
Don't know. I missed the first one, but
Well, we're glad you could be to this one, at this one. So we'll give some people some time to jump on. And have you registered at the website yet, Leo?
not yet. I thought I did, but then I guess it didn't work, so I'll try again.
Okay, that would be good. See how many people are. No one's waiting. I have it set up better this time. Last time I had to let everybody in and they're just going to pop in on their own. So, and
yeah, I wasn't sure when I first got on because I was the only one there, but I got on early because usually it'll say, you're waiting for the host to let you in or whatever it was, whatever it is.
Right, and I just let you come in. So I thought it was easier because we just had to keep going back and forth and people were waiting and I didn't see that. Yeah. So I'm getting better at Zoom. So we're going to kind of leave this wide open for questions and updates and things that are going on our end. And we're finding some things out when it comes to photography and using an iPhone and trying to send me pictures over Facebook to see if that's the right size, and they're automatically being reduced in size. So you can't really share through Facebook your raw images from your iPhone or your Android the same way as you could if you sent it an email or you uploaded it for your entry. So that was something we learned this week. Last week we talked about a lot of I showed some of the mock-ups and of the actual contest interface. And then we also discussed, and it's been a contentious thing, not contentious. People just really think it's important. They want us to have some sort of way to verify that the flotation and self-righting of a decoy can happen and have it verified. So we came up with with a way to do that. And so we'll be able to provide the judges when they're judging live an example of how a particular entry floated, and we'll still be able to have them all on the same page so that you can click off on one and then click on to another, and things can be compared. Different decoys can be compared through the different videos, and we'll show that in a little while. How you doing, David?
How are you?
Good.
Tired of me pestering you?
No, I'm not.
I think it was sharing it through Facebook and Messenger. I think what the issue was. Yeah. But I downloaded Metafo, and that because for some reason iPhone 7s won't let you see the size of the picture when you put your finger on it.
Isn't that amazing?
So I downloaded. I know. iPhone 5 will, but 7 won't.
Wow.
Then I think we've got it worked out now. So
well, that's good, and it's I'm actually a little glad that you had that issue, because then we can let other people know that happens. We'll talk more about that, right, and when people get on here. Hi, Pam.
Hiya. Hi, Jeff. Hello, good to see you.
Hey, Jeff.
Hello,
I think there
hello.
might be a couple more coming from the UK.
Excellent. Yeah, we're just gonna hang here for a while and shoot the breeze. How's your weather up there, Pam? Over there, Pam?
Cold.
Cold. Yeah, cold here too.
And it's now dark because of course it's five in the afternoon. So
Right.
Get start soon. It's starting to gain a little bit of daylight.
Yeah. Switched
Yeah.
around.
just a little bit.
Not much.
Now, what's your all's temperature in Minnesota?
Let me check. It
It's
is
about 20 degrees.
Wow.
It's about
Yeah.
30.
13 degrees actually here. It's 13.
13?
Yeah.
I was optimistic.
Yeah, you were optimistic, but we're inside, so
There you go.
it says it feels
Yeah,
like
And I
it's
can never-
34
degrees.
here in Michigan.
I can never calculate between Fahrenheit and centigrade because it's -1 centigrade here.
There's Lori.
Sorry about being late.
That's cold. That's cold.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
How you doing, Lori?
Good afternoon. Morning.
Oh, busy.
Yeah.
They're running my butt off, but we're all right. Kind
Good.
of lost track of time.
Oh,
So how are
well,
all you guys?
good.
Triple
Hanging in
espresso,
there.
by the way.
Yeah, really. Mine's only coffee. 100%
Yeah.
coffee.
All I've got is water.
Coffee.
Well, it is 11:02. How long do you think we should wait? A little longer?
I'm here.
You are, so I think we can get the party started. So David had some interesting observations when trying to set his phone up to take pictures. He got it set up. It's just that he was sending his pictures to me through Facebook from his iPhone 7. And it was, he was sending 4,000 megapixel or pixels wide, and it was showing up 750. And we couldn't figure out what was going on until he emailed it to me. I said, well, maybe it's being automatically optimized by Facebook or your iPhone or both. So
Facebook.
So he
Imagine
sent
that.
it to me email and it's fine. So apparently on the i7, with my phone, if I take a picture with my phone, I can just hold my finger on that photo and it brings up a menu, and one of those menu items says info, and that gives you the pixels, the dimensions, the file size, and even the location if you're setting it set up that way of where that
Same
picture
for-
was taken. Yeah. So
Yeah, and I'm on Android, but yeah.
and I am too.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
So last time we met, one of the hugest issues between the carvers is whether or not we can verify the flotation. And we talked a little bit about doing that. I was going to look into different ways, like we could download the YouTube videos. So what we discovered over the week was that with an Android phone, if you're watching a YouTube video and you decide to share it, one of the options when you share is to download it to your own phone. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to have those people who are entering decoys that need to prove flotation. They're going to enter a 30-second or 60-second video that they've uploaded themselves to their own YouTube account. And then they're going to share that link in their entry. And then we're going to download those videos and upload them to the Wildfowl Carving Championships YouTube page so that the judges will be able to view them without a name on them, it'll just be an entry ID that we're going to have you use as your title of your video so that it remains anonymous. Go ahead, Lori.
Does YouTube, I'm on Vimeo.
Okay.
So Vimeo has a thing that you can set to public, or it doesn't let anybody download unless you explicitly say it let the people download. Does YouTube work that way?
Their thing is they don't call it download, it's letting you embed, and they don't. So
that's different.
It is. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards the YouTube thing, because it sounds pretty easy. I don't know how it is for an i7 iPhone 7, if it's the same. If you share it, you can download it.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. The point is, what we want to do is get those videos that prove flotation and self-righting onto a platform like YouTube and a screen where we can share those videos with all of the judges that are judging live. And Lori figured out a way to get them to make them smaller so that we could have several on one page. I figured out how to download them, so that was pretty cool. And so we do have to test that a little bit over this next week. Our software developers were not in communication, and it wasn't their fault and it wasn't our fault. There was some migration going on in their system, and so there was a slight delay. We had hoped to have that testing software for you guys to test today so that you could test it over the week, but I was smart enough to realize it wouldn't happen and scheduled it for next Saturday instead. So if you want to test the software, then you'll have to take a look at the requirements and the tips and the things like that to make sure that you're gonna have those photos ready when you actually test one entry is all we're gonna have you do. And then we'll do a mock contest, and it won't cost anything to enter. And then we'll just see how it works. It's supposed to work the way we asked them to build it, and they're pretty darn good at what they do. So I think that's going to work out really well. And then once the private judging is done with any of the flotation videos, those videos aren't going to be public until the private judging's done, and then they become public for everybody to see. That's partially because we're trying to make sure that we're hiding the name of the carver, and it may not be necessary, because if we're going to upload it to YouTube ourselves, then we wouldn't need that hiding of names, because we could just rename those videos by their entry number. I don't know, there's some logistics we're still working out on that, but I do believe that a 30 to 60 minute video proving 60 second 30 to 60, that's a long video. I just want to make sure it's not going to and take on water.
Server load.
So, no, if we can, try that out when we're doing the beta testing, I think it's going to tell us a lot, because what we'll do is we'll actually have you guys be the judges of, they can sit there and be the judges. Lori and I will moderate like we're going to do. when the actual judging happens, and then you'll be able to see how the logistics of actual private judging is going to go. So that'll kind of be fun. And then what we'll do is we'll just do a quick mock-up of the public voting, and everybody can vote for themselves, and we'll just see how that works. I'm sure it'll be just fine. And hopefully we won't have any huge glitches like the ones we've run into 3 or 4 times along the way, and why we had to do something again and again and again. So there's always something that's going to come up, and it's not going to be perfect. And we want to know when it's difficult for you. What don't you understand? What happened and you tried this and it was wrong? And because we've done it. We're building it. We designed it. We had them build it, and we've already done most of the testing along the way. So we're very familiar with what's going on. And sometimes we leave out instructions knowing in our own mind how to do it. So that's why we're having you people sit in with us and help us as members of this wonderful organization that is starting up to help bridge a gap. Are there any questions from anybody yet?
I've got a question.
Sure.
I've got a question. Since you came and told us all about it on Tuesday, I've had a good look at the website, and what I'm interested in, you say 8 photos, plus if it's a decoy, obviously you've got your video as well. How are the judges going to see all these? I'm basing this on having run our virtual show last September, where we only did photographs, and we did 4 or 5 photographs because we were getting them in one screen and then zooming in bits. So I'm just wondering how, because we just had to work with the software I had, no money, all the usual things that happen in the UK. I'm just interested to know how they will all be seen.
Do you remember the when I showed you how the auction would work? And I showed you the auction of the auction set up for my Brant goose. That's how the judges are going to look at them. They're going to be able to zoom in and look on their own previous to the private judging. And then Lori and I are going to coordinate the private judging, where like Lori can be sitting back waiting for them to eliminate an entry and ditching it. She could get it off the page, so we don't have to look at that one anymore, because it's not going to be one. And I know we're gonna, and this is what we're working out. So but as far as being able to see the detail and the number of photos, it might end up being 10 if we're going to have people just take pictures of their bird floating on water to prove that it does float. We tossed around the idea of only having the open level be the ones who are having to prove self-righting and flotation through a video. It's the open carvers that are really worried about that. Not that the other carvers shouldn't be worried about it, but we're asking a lot of carvers as it is.
Did that, Pam? Did your answer? Was your question answered?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm still trying to figure out how the photos will all be. I mean, it's going to be on one.
Okay, maybe I should share a screen and I'll show you how it's going to be. Well,
yeah, I was going to say, because there's thumbnails of all the entries on one screen. You click the entry, then it takes you to the actual entry with a larger thumbnail, a set of smaller thumbnails that you can click on to expand those pictures. And then also if we have a video, there's a link. I mean, yeah, you know,
Thank
the
you.
little triangle
Oh, yeah.
that you punch. So
Right.
it's, you know, like I say, it's all, the initial entries are all on one page. If you want to see the individuals, you have to click the image. And then.
So the judges will be clicking the images.
Well,
Judges
no, I
will
think
be-
what's going to
No.
happen is we're going to be screen sharing at the point of live judging.
Mhm.
And I'll show you what it'll look like. I'm just waiting. For some reason, this isn't coming up like it's supposed to.
Yeah, because I was clerk to the judges for our competition, and I was running the slideshow, and they would say to me, one of them would say, for example, can you zoom in on that top view, Pam, please? And then I would
Exactly.
zoom in on it. They were all
Exactly.
seeing the same thing at the same time.
Exactly.
But they could zoom in on their screens because
No,
they're
I'm-
all seeing the same thing. So
Right.
they could zoom themselves. We wouldn't have to zoom for them because
Yeah,
they're
not
like,
ours.
Well, and that's true. That's true. Which is why I think it's going to be interesting to actually test out the judging. Now, this is, I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully this will load finally. I'll get back to the meeting. I want to share. Hold on.
now at least Zoom isn't locking up yet.
Not yet.
Is that what usually happens?
Here we go.
Sometimes that happens.
All right, I'm gonna share. Now we're gonna have, if everyone can see this, we're gonna have these squares, the main image that you've chosen for your entry.
Right.
That will be, there'll be 1, 2, 3, I believe is how it's set up. And they'll just keep doing rows of 3. So when you want to look at the entries or your own entry, you could look. It is taking everything to get this going.
Oh, I've got a little side observation on this screen. When I got into this screen, into the auction screen,
Yes.
there's no way back to the main.
You're right. You're right.
Website.
And actually, we were working on a way to open this into a separate window so it didn't take you away from the main
Right.
site.
Yeah.
But yes, that is definitely something now to fix. Now,
I
these
tell you
are
that I
really
used to be
large
very good at-
pictures. These are large
Right.
images, so it could be partially what's going on. Jeff and I are zooming on 2 different computers, and I'm trying to load up these. I'm shutting everything else down.
I'm trying to click on stuff.
I know, isn't that funny when you do that? I do that myself. When Lori and I meet every Saturday, or we have since April. And cancel. How do I get out of this? No. Okay. Now we're up. Okay. So it won't have this countdown and this auction type stuff. We're just looking at these pictures. So when you click on the main picture in the gallery, you're gonna come up to something like this without the right-hand text and data. So the judges will be able to either zoom in by hovering, and they can go to the different photos. And sometimes it takes a little while for them to download, but if you go to, or they can open it up into a main page here and then still zoom in and move around on any of the photos. Now this is in my way. You guys are in my, move you guys over here. Okay. So see this photo's just now loading. So when you have a high definition photo, you can see all of the detail that you'd want to see as a judge, as long as the correct views are there.
And
So
it's just gonna take a while to load those because they're big.
it is, they
So-
are, and that's something we have to consider
Mhm.
for that day.
It is what it is.
It is. The thing is once a computer actually goes and sees it, it hangs on to it, so you don't have to keep downloading every time you view it, as long as you don't clear your cache. So again, you know, you can get in and see. These are going to take a long time to load, but this will be a good one just because it's a close-up. You can see the dust I didn't get cleaned off of my bird before I photographed it. So that's pretty
That's a
good
good
detail.
photo.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
Yeah.
one speck
you see the
here.
dust. That's a good photo.
So, you know,
That's funny.
anyway, so that's how we'll be looking at the entries as judges. It's just that
Right.
it'll be on I'm gonna stop sharing now. It'll be on our gallery page, the gallery page of each division. So each division has its own, what we would call a contest, because this is contest
Yeah.
software, but we just set a contest up for every division and judge it within that, and gets all tied together by our software developer who puts it all onto your profile. When you win, you'll get ribbons like did you see your badge, Pam?
I did see my pretty badge. Thank you.
You're welcome. And if you've got an IWCA number, that'll be listed under your name when you click on the members link or badge that's in the sidebar of our website. You can see we have a countdown going. We're almost to 30 days till we actually can start taking entries. So yeah, we're getting excited about this finally. Any other questions? Did I answer your question, Pam?
Yeah, from my point of view, to tell my members over here, trouble is that it's too soon. It's going to be too soon to tell them in the next magazine, because the next magazine is spring, and that will be end of March, beginning of April. So the only way I can do it is probably email, phone them up, whatever. And at the moment, I don't have all the answers because, for example, how much is it going to cost to enter an entry? That's not on the website at the moment.
It's not on the website.
Unless
We hadn't decided that yet. That's something we need to decide. We got kind of hung up on our software not being completed, and we will let you know. It's going to be straight across the board only because it's, you know, for each division. It'll probably, except for juniors, ballpark's probably between $15 and $20 for each entry. So
Right.
juniors is free. I think that, you know, we don't want to charge ourselves out of entries, and everybody is saving money on a virtual championship by not having to attend, by not having to mail their pieces in. Who was it that just posted? It was Walter Gaskill who was posting how he had won really well at the Core Sound contest in December, but he really had to sweat sending his birds in the mail and, you know, getting them back. It's not just the one way, and then it's not even just the one way. You got the competition that could damage them. They could slam up against each other. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios that happen when you aren't there to watch and to see what happened. And then you get a bird back and something's wrong with it. And you wonder what the heck, because nobody left a note saying, oh yeah, we wrecked your bird. So we guess we're running out of time.
There's
So,
obvious benefits.
yeah. So plus,
and
you know,
we're
there's
trying to
people
keep
who will be able
the-
to attend that haven't been able to attend without mailing them in. So we think there's going to be trade-offs, and I think, but the benefits, I think, especially in this COVID times right now, the pandemic restrictions for everybody, we're just going to be a nice gap filler for the shows that aren't being able to
We
go
hope so.
on. So Leo, have you taken photos of your own work yet?
No.
No.
Unfortunately, last year, like for a lot of people, was a wasted year for me. I didn't get anything
Even
done.
for carving, you were.
Yeah, even though I was in my mind, I wanted to do it and was doing it. It wasn't
Better to
happening.
do it in your mind than not at all. So I know
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
I know I'm already planning my next piece while I'm painting. So in my mind, in a lot of ways, thinking about.
I got a few things on my bench that I need to try to finish up that I might be able to get done in time. I know I was looking, like you said, you got 30 days. It's like, oh, crap,
Well,
you know.
no, you have more than 30 days.
Right,
Actually.
right.
You're going to have, we start taking entries in February on the 12th, and then we'll close that on the 14th of March. So you really
I
have,
should be able to get something done by then.
right. So,
If I can get my mind straight.
yeah.
All
Well,
of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a challenge.
So you're gonna open it up on the 12th of February and close it on the 14th of March?
right. And then that'll give us Monday through Friday for Lori and I to get things set up for the judging and get that coordinated. And then we're going to do a judging on Saturday and Sunday following the 14th. I don't have that date in front of me. And then if we need to, and we probably will need to do another round of judging on the following weekend. And hopefully we won't have to do any more rounds of judging. Who knows?
We should try to set like specific times that each judge needs to be there so that
We'll have
we're all
to.
looking at the same thing. So like open will be at, like they do it at any contest. Open will be at such and such a time, and all the judges better be there.
We'll have to send out an itinerary. No,
and
actually, an
Kind of, yeah.
itinerary
Yeah.
of judging and when.
Yep.
That's a good idea, Jeff. Yeah. Tell them when.
Pam,
we
what
have
was the
to.
biggest challenge that your club experienced doing your virtual show championship in September at Bakewell?
I didn't get it was me.
It was you?
It was me. It was me.
Okay.
The committee agreed it was a very good idea, and then I did it. Getting the entries. I really thought people would want to enter, because obviously they've been carving, heading for September. I got 25 entries, which I was disappointed. But as I told you on Tuesday, that took us almost 3 hours to judge those 25 entries.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do we pray for a lot of entries? Or do we pray for not very many?
Laura,
I think we should just go the whole boat. We're
Laura,
just screwed up. Let's go Royal. Down in flames.
Well, I think that's an argument to have this thing more automated than we really the less manual stuff that we have to do, I think the better.
Great.
If that means
Good
having
idea.
another, if that means having to pay for another feature in the software, I think that's going to be something we're going to have to talk about.
It's
Right.
just going to evolve, I think, as we go along. I think we're going to find things that we're,
You know, well, you know what? At first, I think 20 entries would be wonderful if we had at least 20 entries, but we're hoping for more than that. So, but if it's 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours to just 20 entries, we've got to think hard about this. We can't, there can't be a bottleneck,
Right.
especially in the judging.
David, you had a question?
Well, I was going to say, regarding the entries, I wouldn't have the amateur entry fee the same as open entry fee. I would lower it for the amateur carvers, the lower level carvers, just to try to motivate more of them to send entries, send photographs in. Even just duck hunters that carve decoys, you want as many entries as you can get. I don't know. I mean, that's
that
just
was one of the logistics that we talked about with the software development at this point. Might be something we can work in later, but right now it would have to be written into the software, and so we just decided to do this way.
So instead of doing a $45 entry fee, we're considering like the 15 or 20, because again, have you looked at the entry fees for the shows?
oh
What they
yeah.
are?
I mean, the ward's high, I think, but
Well, they are, but people still enter, right?
but
But we're not as high as Ward either.
right, I understand that. But with that said, a lot of carvers, they don't either send birds or whatever because of a high entry fee. Yeah, I don't know why. It doesn't bother me, but I'm just saying a lot of
David's right.
When
carvers,
80%
they-
of the entry fee is being paid back out to the carvers, to the winners,
and that's
it's a little
probably
different.
what really that needs to be promoted and stressed. And I'll try to do my part on Facebook with my friends. Every time I see a picture of an amateur carver, I'm going to reply back, yeah, you need to enter that. 80% of the purse gets distributed
Right.
between the 80% to the carvers.
Yep.
But
80% of the
David's
carvers.
right. I think price is going to make a big difference, especially on the lower end, those that don't have a lot of confidence.
Right.
I think if it's, I don't know, right now we can't have a sliding scale, I don't think, the way the software is. However,
Not yet.
we might be able to
Actually,
do something
we
about-
can price the different levels at different prices. We can.
We can?
It's just, yes, we can.
Sorry,
Well,
guys.
If a novice-
I've been somewhere else.
No, because,
Junior,
it's for every contest, and every contest is for every division. So, or there's a contest for every division, and we can set the prices for each one of those. Part of the reason why I'm reluctant, or I feel it might be, I mean, what I'm worried about is the prize money. I mean,
Mhm.
what's it gonna get reduced to if it's only a $10 entry fee or a $5 entry fee? I mean, are you gonna hope for 20 entries?
And it would be nice
split
for
up.
a novice to get paid well.
Well,
know.
yeah, and I can see that for the lower divisions, but not for the open. I think that the open needs to pay, the $15 to $20 entry fees if they really want to see a prize that's fun.
Yeah,
I mean, if this ever takes off, I mean, when this takes off, I should say, the prize money, there's no cap to the prize money, depending upon the entries.
Yeah, the open level should be a higher entry fee. I agree with that.
Yeah.
it would be great to see this very first contest and have, 100 amateurs send in.
Right. And I agree. And so as an amateur, what did you think was too expensive?
Well, you asked a great question right before we ended.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which
I mean,
was
when
that?
I wasn't so concerned about the entry fees. I was just glad to go to a decoy show and show my work.
Right.
But, over the past 10 years, I've talked to a lot of amateur carvers, and a lot of them don't enter because of the high entry fee or even the ship in and ship out. I don't know why they're such tightwads, but a lot of people are, So,
It's human
Find
nature
that a lot of
sometimes.
carving. Mhm.
$5 more for me, that's ridiculous.
Oh my God, and it's the same thing with the quality of the eyes, the glass eyes that they stick in their birds, Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Do they want them to look alive or not?
Yeah, gun and bird, I buy the best I can,
Me too. I don't care. It's gonna be the best.
Do you
Why
want
not?
Do we want to email the others to let them know they just need to sign back in?
I'm doing the Facebook thing right now. I
Okay,
am the,
thank
Bless
you,
your
Lori.
heart.
Getting
Mhm.
hold
Bless
of
your heart.
Pam and Leo.
yeah.
This has happened to me before at
I don't know if
work,
I have
so
Leo on my friends list though.
I don't know
So
if
I
I
knew all I needed to do was re-sign or
do.
re-log
You
in.
know Leo, David?
Yeah, I can message him,
Yeah, if you would. We don't want to leave him out.
see if I lose the meeting or not.
Thank you.
Well, it was a great question there, and then
It's like,
we
wow.
lost the feed. But well, just kind of recap. I mean, they had questions about how the photos were going to be viewed by the judging. I think that's a good question. And you're going to have to coordinate that private judging, right?
Right.
And let people know that we can't, or that if you're going to be sending photos through Facebook, it reduces the size.
Well, they can't send them. Yeah. Well, I don't want them to
Oh,
be
through their phone.
confused by that happening like David was. We were both confused, and it finally was like he has all of his settings right. He's watched all the videos. He's read the tutorial, and his photos are still the same being size. So then I said, I think maybe Facebook or your phone or both are reducing them. So I mean, it's little things like that that can make a big difference.
So that needs to be added to the tips and tricks
Right.
section. And then then about the 30-second, not 30-minute, but the 30-second of
To
video.
60-second.
Pam said she's coming in.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Perfect. There she
Who
is.
else?
Then we have to
And it
explain
was
how people
Leo that
download
did
those videos. How they
Leo.
Hi,
download
Pam.
videos.
Sorry about
David.
that.
Is it David?
You're going to need a paid account.
Yes, a paid account. That's true.
I've got one too.
All right.
So who else was it? Was it David or Leo?
Oh,
It
it's
was
Leo.
Leo. David's here.
Leo.
Leo's not. But David was going to
Right.
get a hold of Leo.
All right.
Yeah, I'd message, see if he gets back. So
Okay.
I'm
So-
looking for a test. It looks like it's going to be great.
Well, and I think that the auction interface really isn't as true as or as good as what we're going to have for the actual contest interface. Once it's completed, you've only ever seen mock-ups. They're drawings of what it's supposed to look up like when it's done. And so we did get it set it up so that there's only an entry title and a description for your entry if you want to put that under the title.
And their number and their entry number.
Yeah, the entry number is automatically generated. It's already automatically
So you have
generated.
a title, you have a number and a title.
No, Well, not when you're entering at first. The number isn't generated until you press enter at the very end.
Oh, I think, are you talking about IWCA, Jeff?
Well,
No,
I don't think so.
no, no, he's talking about the entry number. So what
Yeah.
happens
That's
is,
automatically generated by the software
Right.
when you enter.
and it's kind of an anonymous
Random.
number that'll match the entry, and then it'll also match your name. And as soon as the private judging is over, the entry number is replaced with your name so that you can advertise it and show people, and people can vote for your piece and know who they're voting for, where we don't want the judges to know whose carvings they are.
Oh, no, definitely not.
So, now,
Then the next thing that I got out was when, at the auction site, we need to have a way to get back to the
Right.
homepage.
right. And that was a good observation.
Yeah.
It was in the menu. I told you, Lori, that I had tried it like 15 ways to Sunday to make that work so that that menu button would open up a link in a different window, and I couldn't make that happen. So that might be CSS.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to do that. My bad.
Okay. But it was a good
I've had-
observation.
It's
did
just
wanna
been
say-
wicked.
I wanted
Yeah.
to thank you for I think the courage ribbon was great. It looks really nice.
Oh, it does look really
Thank
nice.
you.
I don't know if anyone else but Pam and Jeff and Lori and I have seen it, but if you go to Pam's profile on the website, once you've logged in, you'll see that she got a badge for being the first one to ask. She was courageous enough to ask. So there was a lot of people who wanted to ask that question, and they weren't doing it. And I didn't know, we couldn't believe how long it took. Who's behind this anyway?
Well, when I'd asked and got your slightly ambiguous answer, I emailed Tom Huntington and said, "Do you know anything about this, Tom?" "No," he said. "Oh, I'll have to look into this." And a few weeks later, I got an email from him. "I know who's behind it now, but I'm sworn to secrecy."
Yeah, that was funny.
It
We'll
was.
tell you, but
So,
we gotta kill you.
yeah, he's very happy to see us moving forward, by the way. We've been going back and forth with the IWCA article and competition and magazine and all. So I wrote the article again, and in our communications back and forth, he's been very excited to see that we're moving ahead on this. He's actually joined as a member too.
I saw that. Oh, that was something. When you were showing it to us, I could see all the members.
Yep.
But when I was logged on earlier, I couldn't see any members.
So if that little red charter member badge that's on the sidebar,
Oh, yeah.
click on that and you'll see all of the members.
Also, the profile link in the top, I think
Well, the profile link only brings you
That's-
to your profile,
Sure.
but you can go to the different groups from your profile. There's a groups tab or link,
Yeah.
and it'll
You know,
show
we can
found
you.
probably
the
put
members
that in the
now.
menu so everybody can at least see everybody's profiles. I kind of think, you
Yeah,
know,
I think that would be a good idea because I have a habit. In fact, I
easy
used to
to
be paid to break software.
Oh,
That
good.
was one of the things I used to do when I was a computer consultant. I was quite good at it, breaking software.
believe it.
Yeah, I was looking all round and I thought, well, I know that Laurie showed me that screen on Tuesday. But it didn't occur to me to click on that charter button.
Okay, well, Lori and I are both firm believers of providing as many ways to a place
Yeah.
on a website as possible. And
We could put a link up that says members, and then it'll take you to the whole
That- yeah,
profile
let's-
page
we'll
or
just
something
do
like
that.
that.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good.
okay.
Because I
Good
got a friend
suggestion.
request from Laurie, and I thought, I can't do it back to anyone because I can't find where it is.
Right, right.
And I'll add that new page thing. That'll help too.
Good. Yeah, that'll
Like
help getting to
like
the
a
auction.
tab,
Pardon me?
like a member tab, like a member tab.
A member button in our menu that'll take you to the members page. Just link straight to it like that, like the sidebar link does on that charter member badge, but it'll just be a link in the menu and more obvious to people. Because that badge isn't saying click me to see members. So I suppose we could add some alt text to it, but maybe that might help.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
kind of a mystery meat thing.
I know.
You know.
So how are you guys looking at the website? Are you looking at it from your phone? Are you looking at it from a laptop? Are you looking at it from a tablet?
I go into my phone.
Okay. And how does that work for you?
It works good. I mean, if you're used to using an iPhone or an Android, it's pretty easy, really.
Okay, so the format works out okay on your phone in the way that it's converts from a desktop or a laptop to your phone didn't give you too many issues. I mean, everything's totally long because it's, can go
Right.
on forever, but
Right.
like you said, you're used to that. If you're going to be looking at things on your phone all the time.
Right.
It's good on my tablet, but
Good.
I've got a large tablet. It's like 12-inch.
And how about you, Pam?
I'm on the laptop.
Okay.
And how does that work?
Fine.
All right. Good.
I was just
Awesome.
thinking I'd have a look on the.
On your phone.
I'll go into the website on my phone. Yeah.
Good idea. So, well, that's really wonderful, Pam, that, to give us your insight, having been a former software breaker. And
Yeah. We're doing a good job, Laurie. We're doing a good job.
we do. I broke it really well yesterday when I was trying to give David his badge. Apparently when you add somebody to a group, you can't unadd them. You can only deactivate them. And so I deleted David thinking I was just deleting him from that group, and poof, his whole profile was gone.
I've been done by the best now.
That's funny.
That's why
So I won't do that again. There's always, a first time. I try to
Touch
learn from
that
my
button.
lessons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I don't write
That's
my
our,
passwords
like our
down
mantra.
and I forget
Venus.
my passwords, Lori makes my passwords say, if you don't write this password down, you're in trouble.
I will hunt
That's
you
my
down.
password. So,
Yeah, it's looking fine on the phone.
good. And what kind of phone are you using? An Android or an iPhone?
Android.
Okay, good. All right. Well, I don't know what else we can discuss unless you guys have more questions.
I think everything looks like it's going great. So
It is. We're just sorry that we had this miscommunication with the developers, and actually I was a little scared because we
Both
weren't
of
hearing
us
from
were.
them. But they
Yeah.
came through and they were actually working the whole time we weren't in communication. So it's just a matter of clearing up some questions we had and adding a few more details. And it should be done within the next, I would say, midweek, this upcoming week. They're pretty fast.
What's going to appear on the divisions? If you
Oh,
select
see,
a
now that's
division,
the other thing,
no-
Lori. Is the division expanding in the entire menu on your phone?
On mine, it is.
Okay, but is it all, okay, when I look on my phone,
It's all one.
it doesn't collapse down. If you look at,
I don't have my phone here. I'm sorry.
okay, well, what
Well, at
happens,
the moment, the page only says when you go into a category, either nothing or photo contest mode is disabled or your contest is not yet saved.
right,
Enable it from the
how
photo
did you
contest mode
find
tab.
that? How did you find that?
She's a
I
software
went
breaker.
to- yeah, I went to the divisions menu tab and then selected one of the divisions from the drop down.
Right, okay, that,
That's because we haven't got them built yet, the contests.
the contests aren't built yet. We have the pages built, which are kind of like holders for a short code. If you're familiar
So
with
you-
the short code. Yeah.
So you will get that message, 404 or whatever, page not
Until
found.
we actually have them. Those aren't, and it was, but what I was getting to was that when you're looking at the open divisions that are the contests, open will be there, but then like novice is expanded all the way open without collapsing back. And do you know why?
Oh, I can't show you. Yeah, it's expanded. Yeah,
It's the
Yep.
way the software's written.
yeah.
Well, no,
But I
this
think
is the
that's-
menu. This is the menu, Lori.
Mhm.
Our
Mhm.
menu on our website.
Yeah, you can
Are
Yeah.
you following
Scroll
that,
down.
Lori?
Yep. So it's like all the sub menus open on the phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the way the software, not the competition software, the our
WordPress?
theme software and WordPress. It's just what they do for a phone is just automatically expand everything.
Well, that's pretty stupid.
Something we can't get around.
Especially when we have such long menus.
Yeah.
So do we
You know, but
remove
we never
that?
intended this to be for the phone, but you know, it's kind of a pain. I get it.
Is there any advantage to opening it up with a laptop then, or recommending that you use a laptop?
Or maybe even a large tablet, because you know, if I have it, like I said, but nobody else
best
has got a
results-
12-inch tablet. But yes,
Under
I
the
think-
tips and tricks we put for best results, use a tablet or a laptop.
laptop definitely. Don't even give them the option of the tablet. Laptop
I
So
mean,
is there?
can
is
be
there
judged
any-
on that way. So
I don't
is there
know.
any-
I mean,
I was gonna say, is there any advantage to changing up the menu so that it doesn't have all those subs and then we just send them to a page that has all the subs?
no,
Okay.
because that's just one more button people have to click.
Yeah.
This wasn't, we, kind of
It's
agreed.
never been meant
at
for the
first.
phone, really. But
That it was not really made for the phone.
so did you notice that,
that's
David?
what I thought.
We can't get around it.
But there's folks that will just use the phone and they'll have to put up with it. They're used
Well,
to
and
it.
that's
Used
David.
to it,
He's been using his
Standing down.
phone.
Well, and I mean, there's going to be a percentage that's all they're going to use. But if we say it in there that, gosh, under the tips and tricks, we recommend that you use your laptop
Results.
or best, or something like that. I don't know. What do you think, David?
I agree.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I'm just lazy and my laptop's only 2 feet away from me. So.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad to know you have one. But yeah,
I mean,
Well,
I
but
grab it. So.
right.
But
right.
I think that's typical.
actually on the phone, the fact that it's all listed makes it clear because people are definitely used to just scrolling their phones. So
Okay.
Well, that's
And-
great.
You can,
Yeah.
you can see all the divisions immediately just by a little bit of scrolling.
Okay,
You
all
can
right.
see everything.
See, and
You
that's
can see-
just it. I prefer surfing on my laptop. I find it more difficult on my phone. And because it is forever
Mm,
going up
me
and
too.
up and up and up. Where was that? Oh my God, it's way down at
But
the
however-
bottom. There's
But the thing is, you
Leo.
can. We have that option. We have that
Back.
ability.
Hi, Leo.
So that's what's
I'm
nice.
back again.
Yay.
Welcome back.
I couldn't figure out how to get on, and I got my wife to figure it out. And I even just called you, Dave. So.
Oh, your IT
Yeah.
staff.
Yeah, Dave's gone and now he's in IT.
Well,
I texted you too, Lori, but oh well. I'm back.
Oh, whoops. I missed it. Sorry. It's on the screen.
Leo,
Hey,
we
that's
were just
okay.
we were
Okay.
just talking about how to best visit the site and access it, and there's talk on both sides of those that wanting to use their phones, those wanting to use laptops, and right now we have the ability for both. And as long as you know the ins and outs,
Ramifications. Yeah.
right? Yeah. Because
Yeah.
the phone, it's going to be a constant scroll, where the laptop is more clicking.
Right.
So,
And so I think we're okay. It's just that there's going to be some getting used to it, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be trying to get used to whoever, whatever they feel most comfortable with, and even that. And if they're not very tech savvy, they may have problems. But
Yeah, like
well,
me.
and we will.
I have a
Yeah, like
love-hate
me.
relationship. I have a love-hate relationship with my phone. I really do.
Well, with all of his electronics. So,
Yeah.
It doesn't like me.
And the judging is required to be done on
yeah,
a
I
laptop
was just
or a
going to say the exact
Yeah.
same thing, Lori, is that we
Oh,
are
okay.
going to ask the judges to be on a laptop because it's
Okay,
just,
that's a good note.
yeah,
So-
that's one of
Yeah.
the requirements in the judges I took the link to the judges thing off for a little while just to make a little bit more room on our menu, but there is it's under judges, talks about what we're looking for in the judges, not just their experience as a carver and expertise as that, but we need them to be able to sign up for a PayPal account so they can get a stipend. We need them to be able to access a laptop so they can see the detail that we're working really hard at making sure everyone can see the detail of our art, because that really doesn't get shown. Even by today's standards with a regular show, the pictures that are taken for Wildfowl Carving Magazine and Wingspan and the different publications really don't show the detail unless there is specifically close-up views. And we're going to have close-up views and all different side views and top views and all the views that are necessary that a judge would need to.
And I've got a
actually.
29-inch monitor. I'm on 3 monitors,
Uh-huh.
and my main screen is my 29-inch. And let me tell you, Laurie, that dust on your brand really shows
Really
up.
shows. Yep.
So the bigger the screen, the more detail.
Well, and
This-
that's kind of the thing, some of the carvers aren't going to feel so comfortable with us seeing, a judge seeing that much detail, but hey,
They would if they were up close.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I
Right.
understand you're trying to make this as much as like a regular contest as possible.
right.
Something that Pam mentioned when she had, 25 entries, and it took 3 hours.
Yeah.
Are we worried that if you get a whole bunch of entries, it's going to take days to go through all these things?
Well, we are a little
Logistics.
worried. I mean, honestly, because we don't know. We don't know. I'm worried about
Well, I
what the
guess,
prize money's going to be. I'm worried about
right.
how many judges we're going to need and how many entries we're going to have. So those are a lot of unknowns at this point that we have to be
I guess-
prepared for all.
And
Right,
also,
I
how do we compensate the judges?
Right.
I guess my comment on that was, and I don't know if you've talked about it before, because this is the first meeting I was on. Did you ever think about maybe making it, you don't have making it simpler? I know we're trying to make it like a real show where you can, you got the bird in your hand, you can look at it as for a judge, but just making it straightforward, simpler from the standpoint that if you have a lot of entries, at least on this first time around, that you kind of get a feel how it goes. If you have a lot of entries, you're not going to be, bombarded with the amount of time it's going to take to judge all this.
Well, we have considered that. We thought about doing a smaller scale contest, but I've judged the Wildfowl Carving Magazine virtual contest twice, and then I've competed in it, so I've been on both sides. And having such limitations to water birds and land birds really was limiting. I mean,
I was gonna say I completely forgot about that contest, and I'm sure you've looked at that, the ins and outs of that one. So if that one worked, this one should work. It shouldn't have a problem either.
Well,
maybe we could split judging if we get too many entries. Say we get more than 25, or
right. We will
then we say, okay, we'll judge this many on this day and that many, the next day, or
and
whatever.
We will have a good idea before the contest closes,
right,
as to how many we're going to have, so that we can be more prepared. We've got time between the closing of the entries and the actual judging beginning, that we'll be able to hopefully have everything set up so that, who knows? I don't want it to go on forever either. And
I'm not sure if you have enough judges or people to hand. Could you do like more than one category at a time? Like if you have different judges grouping things, so you got one set of judges judging like decorative, one set doing, like we do at the shows.
And
so
the only thing is that can happen. We want to have a moderator. We have to have a moderator for the judging, just like a records keeper or a bird runner or whatever. We have to have somebody there that's going to help moderate things and just keep it going. So right now,
and that
could be more people than just you guys.
That could be something that Jeff Laurie and I could do. It's like somebody take open, somebody take novice, somebody take intermediate. I mean, we're going to have to learn, do this manually for, depending on how many entries we have, like Laurie said. But I think this is something that, will work out when we run this practice contest. Hopefully. But we don't know until we see.
Right. You don't
That's why we're testing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a shakedown cruise.
How many?
You might have to bring in another moderator.
Right. Go ahead, Pam.
Sorry, Pam.
That's all right. How many entries are you planning on having for your beta testing competition?
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter because Lori and I will be entering as, you probably saw some strange names in the members list if you got there. Pam hasn't gotten there, but one's Testy Test.
Yeah.
Or Testy Test, or, these, and I've got Lori McNeil, I've got Lori J. McNeil, because it had to use different email addresses so that we could pretend. We got 10 minutes now left in this meeting. So, so we have these different usernames that we can actually add entries to in addition to what you guys might add. But we really want you guys to be there because, we could test it to doomsday, and unless we know how it's working for you guys, it's not going to make any difference.
I think Pam brings up a point, though. We should go at least for 10 10 entries, just that will give us an idea. We can do the math to extrapolate
Okay.
out if it's 20,
Yeah.
30, whatever. If we have 10, that's a good starting place. And I think Pan has a good stipulation for this dry run.
Well, and the other thing is we have the ability to limit the number of entries a carver can enter, but we also have the ability to leave it wide open. So if we don't have enough entries, maybe you guys could have 2 separate entries set up in case we need to use them, to just use. And again, we aren't judging. So if you wanted to use a piece that you're going to enter into the contest, it remains with us, and we won't tell the judges about it. It's anonymous or quiet.
Well, I've got a couple older birds I can take pictures of and,
Good.
turn them
Yeah.
into
Well,
data.
you can also enter those in the real contest because
Great idea.
there's no, you might as well photograph it for the real contest because there's no limit on time
Practice.
when you carved it.
Okay.
And if you wanted to enter 5 entries into one division, you can do that.
I believe that's for this very first one, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Now maybe we'll limit it to, you can only do a hen and a drake of a duck species, or a bird species. So we don't have some
But,
person who loves carving scoters do 50 entries of scoters. So, or whatever bird. So we might have to put a little bit of restriction on that, but for part of
I
that
don't want
was,
to put too much. I'd rather not put too much restriction on entries. I want as many
Right.
entries as possible.
right. And it's like, it used to be, like say at the North American, you could enter, one of the divisions was the hunting decoy division, but they only took the top 40 entries and they had over 100 entries. And today we can't do that. We can't afford to do that. We are praying to get as many entries as we can. So we felt that since this is the first time around, we could open it up to everybody for all of the entries they might want to have because they have never competed at our show.
And if a problem shows up, that's when it's going to show up and we'll know it and we can fix
That's
it.
true.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and
Well,
we
that's-
want the
that's a
prize
good
money to
approach.
be as substantial as it can for everybody. So, anyway, well, we got 6 minutes and 32 seconds left, and they're going to cut us off again. Anything else? I did add some videos to the tips page on how to do your phone settings on Android and digital cameras. That'll be helpful. I finished writing and Jeff is proofing that for me, editing it for me, but what is wildfowl carving? So people that don't even know what wildfowl carving is can go and look at it and see how multifaceted it is.
Great idea.
So I've got that I want to put up on the website as a PDF, and then we've got the different downloads for the light box. So we're going to probably make a download page that'll have these different things that'll be downloadable for you guys to use, or click on. Other than that, if you guys have trouble photographing your artwork in between now and this weekend, next weekend, feel free. David got hold of me on Messenger and we got things straightened out. He was more straightened out than he knew. But that's what it's going to take to make it so that it's easy for everybody. And if the more of us who know how to use the camera, the smartphone or a digital camera, can pass that on to those who are worried about, am I going to break my camera? Am I going to break my phone by changing these settings? No, you can just push reset and it'll all go back.
Yep.
One more thing too is sometimes, you and I, Laurie, have, and probably Jeff and everybody here has like a really nice phone that has a really good camera built in.
Mhm.
I'm one of these, got to have the latest and greatest thing.
Right.
So with a built-in camera, if they've got a cheaper phone, they're not going to have the options that we have. They might not have that option
That's
to
right.
set. So
Yeah.
I know that there's apps that you can download that are, you know, camera apps
Mhm.
that, and I've got them on my phone too, even though it does everything but, you know, brush my teeth. But it's, you know, it offers me more options,
Mhm.
you know, and higher resolutions. Now, you know, if it's a cheap phone and it only takes 8, you know, megapixel, that was a good one, photos, then, you know, no camera app is going to be able to increase that. I mean, it's
And
just
those folks
the
will
phone.
be at a disadvantage.
Yes.
And
Only
they're
if
gonna have
they-
to,
Only if they want to use a phone. I mean, they'll have to
Correct.
find a digital camera.
so-
But they
that's
might
why
not
in
be
the-
able to photograph at 2400, you know, make a 2400 wide pixel wide image like what we require.
Well, I quite a lot of our members are pretty old.
Right.
And some of them haven't got
Gray
computers
hair.
at all. I did have 2 entries come in the mail, printed out pictures, which I then scanned in.
Okay. Well, that
Bless
was
your
sweet
heart.
of you. I know you were looking for entries.
One of them actually had never competed in his life, and he actually won the novice division.
Oh,
Wonderful.
great.
So
You see,
That's
it's
fantastic.
fantastic.
So you were all inclusive, and that's really important. That's why we have so many divisions. We want it to be all
Proof is in the
inclusive.
pudding. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Well,
Well-
you met New Zealand on Tuesday. You met Ken
Yep,
from New Zealand.
Yep.
He was able to compete in that competition, and he came second at intermediate. So,
Wonderful.
and I'm sure he is gonna compete in
Good.
your show.
Good.
The look on his face, he was calculating.
Wonderful. Well, they're going to cut us off in less than 2 minutes too, so we should probably close it up. Lori, you have anything
just want-
more?
I just
Jeff?
wanted to say that we will try to accommodate those types of contestants, you know, the best we can. I mean,
Right.
and we're gonna have, basically, again, I want to reiterate, this is to promote wildfowl carving and to have fun.
It
That's
is.
basically what it is. There's not gonna be a lot of prize money, maybe there will be, but no matter what, if we can just promote this art form and have fun doing it, that will meet my goal.
And I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Okay,
You
well,
know,
thanks
it would be
so
kind
much.
of cool.
Pam, did you
maybe to
have
have,
anything
like,
more?
No, that's
David?
apart from get a paid account, get a paid
Okay.
Zoom account,
Okay.
I got it
And
in my notes.
which by the way I have got. If you want to use it,
okay, thank you.
BDWCA has a paid account.
Okay, all right. I think Lori, you just said you do too?
Yeah, I have a paid Zoom account.
Okay,
We're gonna-
good.
Thank you all for joining us.
And Leo, you had nothing more? David, you had nothing more?
Nope, nothing more. Not that I
Okay,
can think of right now.
all right. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see
you
you
all.
next week. And
Yep,
in between,
Bye.
get a hold. Yep.
Great
Take care.
comments.
Yep,
Great
Really good.
comments and questions. I appreciate it.
thanks.
A lot of things we didn't think about. Good. Bye, all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.